Hello and welcome. It's great to have all you students from Europe Hotel School joining this online learning journey. As a specialist in modern hospitality operations, I'm really excited to guide you through what it takes to build the blueprint for a flawless hotel launch, especially from the front office perspective. What we're going to do today is equip you with the real-world tools for success in your hospitality careers.
The pre-opening phase of a hotel, it can be just unbelievably chaotic. And this quote, it really hits home on the core problem. Without clear goals, you're not just a little disorganized, you are actively wasting money, wasting time, and just drifting toward failure. The stakes couldn't be higher. Honestly, your biggest enemy isn't the competition, it's the lack of structure inside your own walls. So the big question is, how do we bring order to all that chaos?
Well, the solution is a really powerful two-part framework that just cuts right through all that noise. We're talking about establishing concrete milestones and then tracking our progress with very specific key performance indicators, or as you know them, KPIs. This isn't about hoping for the best, it's about building a data-driven path to guaranteed success.
Now, it's so important to understand the difference between these two. Think of it this way. Milestones are the big destinations on your roadmap. They tell you what you need to achieve. But KPIs, they're your dashboard. They're telling you how well you're actually driving. So one is about getting the task done, and the other measures the quality of your work. Getting this distinction right is absolutely fundamental. Okay, so let's start with the blueprint itself. We've got to define those key destinations on our journey to opening day. These are the big, non-negotiable phases that every single front office team has to nail. It all comes down to 4 foundational milestones. We've got the system, the people, the operational, and the physical. Each one of these is a critical pillar holding up our hotel's readiness. So let's break down what hitting each one actually looks like in the real world.
And here you can see the tangible outcomes. You hit the system milestone when your property management system is live and loaded. For the people milestone, it's simple. Every single position is filled, contracts signed. Operational readiness, that's when every SOP is finalized and signed off. And finally, the physical milestone is checked off when all your equipment is in place and ready to go.
So we have our blueprint. Now let's move on to the scorecard. Hitting our milestones is crucial, but that's really only half the story. We also have to measure the quality of how we got there. And this is where KPIs come in, giving us that hard data to prove we're not just ready, but we're ready for excellence.
The first, and I would argue the most critical KPI for any modern front office, is system readiness. This is all about the health of your hotel's tech backbone. Because let's be honest, if the PMS goes down or the data is wrong, everything else just falls apart. So how do we measure this? We do it through something called user acceptance testing, or UAT. Now, this is not just a simple check. Think of it like a full-on dress rehearsal for your technology. Your team runs simulated check-ins, checkouts, post-charges, the whole shebang on the live system, all to hunt down every single error or glitch before a real guest ever sees it.
And let me be perfectly clear about the target for this KPI. It is 100% completion of UAT with 0, and I mean 0, critical errors, not 99%. Any major bug you find at this stage has to be fixed before you even dream about opening the doors. The system has to be perfect, period.
All right, with the system totally verified, we turn to our most important asset, our people. Our next critical KPI measures training completion and, even more importantly, competency. See, it's not enough to just have a team, they have to be proficient, confident, and ready to perform.
We measure this in 2 ways. First, we track that 100% of the required training hours are completed. But second, and this is the real key, we test for competency. We use assessments, we use role-playing. The goal isn't just that they showed up, it's that they achieved a minimum proficiency score, let's say 90%, on everything from using the PMS to our specific service standards. Okay, now we come to the final test. We've checked all the systems, we've trained the entire team. Now it's time to put it all together and prove that every single piece can work in perfect harmony under pressure.
But how do we actually know, right? How can we be 100% certain that our perfectly programmed system and our highly trained team can actually handle the stress of a real live operational day? The answer is our final all-encompassing KPI, dry run performance. We literally stage a full mock opening, a complete simulation of a real day. And the metric here is fascinating. We measure our success by counting our failures. Every single error, or snag as we call them, gets recorded. We're talking everything from a key card that won't work, to a billing mistake, to a guest request getting lost in translation between departments.
And this chart right here shows the goal perfectly. The first time you run a test, you expect to find a lot of snags. In fact, that's the whole point. The goal isn't just to find problems, it's to solve them. So with each dry run you do, you fix the issues, you refine your processes, and that number of snags has to go down and down until that final run is pretty much flawless.
So let's bring this all together. These milestones and KPIs, they're so much more than just items on a to-do list. They're the building blocks of a powerful argument. They're what transforms your preparation from a subjective feeling into an objective, undeniable fact.
And this is why it all matters so much. This framework provides the hard, objective evidence of readiness that you will present to your general manager and to the hotel's owners. You're no longer walking into that meeting saying, "Yeah, I feel like we're ready." No, you are presenting cold, hard data that proves the front office is ready for a successful opening.
You know, there's a reason this systematic approach is a mandatory skill taught in professional programs like the ones at Europe Hotel School. It takes the guesswork out of the equation and ensures excellence. So as you look toward your future careers, the real question is this: when your opening day comes, what story will your evidence tell?